Six Flags Great America is one of the biggest amusement parks in the world, which is exactly why they see some of the largest investments from any of the parks in the Six Flags chain. Today I'm going to be reviewing my predictions for their next coaster and why I think it could come as soon as this year. Six Flags Great America is about to open one of the best thrill machines in the country, so make sure to watch to the end because you won't believe what coaster I think they'll get next. Six Flags loves giving their parks the most expensive rides possible year after year. They opened a 4D free spin at every one of their major parks and even gave most of them a giant Zamperla pendulum ride. Jokes aside though, Six Flags has been stepping up their game this year, and with the addition of Dr. Diabolical's cliffhanger at Fiesta, Texas, it seems they are just getting started. Since their bankruptcy over 10 years ago, the chain had been spending a lot less on new rides at their parks. Great America though was one of the few parks that managed to get solid new investments the last 10 years despite Six Flags' lower budget. With Six Flags starting to spend a little more on coasters and overall park improvements at their major parks, this could set up Great America to open their best coaster in a really long time. Before I get to what coaster I think Six Flags Great America could get next and why I think it'll be insane, we first need to look at the park's previous investments. Since installing X-Flight, the B&M Wing coaster Great America got in 2012, the park's addition started getting a little cheaper. Just 2 years after X-Flight in 2014, Great America got an RMC with Goliath, which is rumored to have cost around $10 million. RMCs aren't the most expensive, and Goliath is an amazing ride, so no one cares about the low price tag. In 2017, they opened the Joker, which is rumored to have cost only $7.5 million. That's where peak Six Flags cheapness was kicking in. When you buy a bunch of clones in bulk and they're actually good rides, no one will complain. Take the Batman B&M Invert clones or the RMC Raptor clones. But when you clone a 4D free spin, it's a whole different story. The park was back to $15 million coasters again for the 2019 season when they opened their new SNS Air Launch Coaster Max Force. It's clear the $15 million mark is somewhere Six Flags is willing to go right now for some of their major parks. But if one park was going to break that price range, I have a good feeling it might be Great America. Since 1992, the park's longest gap between coasters was 5 years, and that was between a B&M Flyer, Superman Ultimate Flight in 2003, and the Dark Knight clone in 2008. Keep in mind, that was during a time when Six Flags was really struggling financially, and during that time, Six Flags was also installing two massive $25 million Intamin coasters at Six Flags Great Adventure. Other than that 5-year gap, Great America seems to get coasters rather often every 2 to 3 years. 2023 marks 4 years from the most recent coaster Max Force, so they really should be getting a coaster this year. A 4-year gap makes sense for this park after everything that's happened since 2020, and I'm positive this year will be Great America's year to shine. There's a few ways I can see Great America go for the next coaster. There's the classic Six Flags style, and then there's the option of opening one of the craziest coasters ever. Six Flags Great America could very well go with this classic Six Flags move and open a large-scale Raptor similar to Jersey Devil and Wonder Woman. Six Flags would probably make it a drop taller and longer so they can boast their records, and the ride will definitely be a great hit. However, I think there are better coasters this park can open. Don't get me wrong, I'd love to see an RMC Raptor at this park. Actually, I think this is a coaster that Six Flags should put into every one of their parks. But there are better ways to go about it. RMC Raptors are relatively cheap coasters, so I don't imagine it would be a problem for Six Flags to open a larger one with a unique layout. A dueling Raptor would also be something interesting to see and would offer a solution to the capacity issue found with these rides. That's where the T-Rex model comes in. We know RMC's T-Rex model is supposedly able to reach heights of 400 to 500 feet, but that would be pretty expensive. Could Six Flags give Great America a smaller scale T-Rex that goes 200 feet high? Six Flags Great America has a height limit, and Six Flags loves testing out new coasters here, so this would be the perfect way to test the T-Rex out before opening a larger one and giving this park an awesome coaster at the same time. The T-Rex also offers much better capacity as it can hold 2 riders in each row instead of 1, but keep in mind that it will definitely feel like a different ride. I don't think Six Flags will be purchasing the T-Rex model anytime soon, and I think the most likely coaster option for Great America is the clone large-scale RMC Raptor, but their another way that park can go. they could open a brand new coaster model, one that could rival some of the best coasters in the world. But before I get to that, I have to address the B&M Dive. Six Flags just built the first ever B&M Dive coaster, and it looks like it might be the best B&M Dive coaster ever. B&M Dive coasters are a perfect coaster in terms of investment for a park. They are reliable, have great capacity, and are a GP magnet. The general public love these rides. And though to enthusiasts these may be kind of boring since they are all so similar, I think we will start seeing some more unique dive coasters in the future. It's very possible Great America goes with a dive coaster from B&M, but B&M is about to unveil the brand new model. The first ever B&M surf coaster looks like it will be opening this year at SeaWorld Orlando. Six Flags Great America has a history with B&M. They've got so many of B&M's first rides, and the park is loaded with coasters from the Swiss manufacturer. That's what makes me wonder if Six Flags will decide to open a B&M surf coaster at Great America next. The surf coaster is rumored to be B&M's take on an Intamin Blitz, and if it delivers, it will be amazing. The surf coaster is either going to be a hit or miss in my opinion, and I'm leaning to say it will be a miss. Not that I think it will be a bad ride, rather I think enthusiasts won't love it as much as similar rides from other manufacturers. However, if the B&M Surf is something brand new and unique that offers an amazing experience like no other, then I hope Six Flags opens one at Great America as a test ride for 2023. Six Flags Darien Lake recently tested out some of GCI's Titan track on Predator, and if that's a success, maybe we see a full retrack of American Eagle with GCI's Titan track next year at Great America. I don't think this is a likely option for the next coaster though. I do think American Eagle will eventually get retracked, but I think it'll come after the park opens their next coaster, maybe in 2025 or 2026. Six Flags Great America is a test park, and we could very well see Six Flags test out a coaster from a manufacturer like Vekoma or Mack Rides here. A Vekoma tilt coaster could look awesome, and maybe Six Flags wants to give Vekoma a shot with one of their next gen coasters. A Mack Extreme Spinner would also be a great ride to test out here, even if they have to make it a little smaller to fit into their budget. All the coasters on the list are great fits for Great America, and all of them are awesome additions. But I think there's one that tops them all. I'm talking about an SNS Axis coaster, a 200-foot SNS Axis coaster. On the one hand, Great America is a test park for Six Flags, so the Axis coaster would make perfect sense here, especially now that Fiesta didn't open one. On the other hand, the Axis coaster is a coaster made by SNS, and if Great America were to get one, it would be their third SNS coaster in a row. Maybe they want to take a break from SNS for a minute. Regardless of what it is, Six Flags Great America's next coaster will be a great one. But there's another Six Flags park that just opened a new coaster and is getting ready to open another awesome coaster. Six Flags Magic Mountain is preparing to open an awesome new coaster next, and you won't want to miss my predictions for what it will be. Click here to watch my predictions for Magic Mountain's next coaster after Wonder Woman, and get ready because it's gonna be awesome.